What's going on, guys? This is Day Trader Insight. Now, this is not going to be my main SOFI video for the weekend. I won't have any charts on it. I have no time to edit this. I'm on my way home. But I just wanted to let you guys know, if you like to know what I'm doing, if you're kind of following what I'm doing, and again, none of this is financial advice. This is only for entertainment purposes. I wanted to let you guys know that where SOFI price, the way it developed today and the way it closed is a little bit concerning for me, considering as I don't have a full position anymore. Now, I did see the strength of SOFI price action in the overnight session and then in pre-market, and I really felt like price might try to test that 1580/1570 level. So I actually ended up buying back in a full position, and I was back in with over 25,000 shares at a price of like 1522 today, right? Well, then I got busy. I said, you know what? I think price is going to 1574. So I put my limit sell in, and sure enough, that ended up being the high of the day at that point. Now, I only got partially filled, but I happened to be free at that moment, so I got to sell the rest of the position at 1571. Now, I could have rebought then at low 1550s, but I did not do that. Price went back up and tested 1575 again, failed, got rejected, went all the way back down to 1556 shortly after close. But I don't like where price closed the day, right? There are still additional trend lines a little bit higher up. I see a scenario. This is about the worst scenario we could have had, because now a lot of money can trade on Robinhood starting Sunday night, and price can start moving and I can't do anything, right? So in this scenario, I did load up more puts going in at close, as those have not, that chart has not been invalidated. And now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have probably 17,500 to 20,000 shares I'm going to pick up here in post-market, right? And after hours trading. Just because I don't want to get caught with my pants down during, Robinhood's trading hours on Sunday night. I would sure hate if they pumped the price on low volume overnight and broke 16, broke all the psychological levels, the trend lines. Even if that happens, I feel like price still will need to retest 15.8 or 16 from the upside to validate a move upward, right? So part of me thinks I shouldn't be buying in. I'm talking myself out of it. I really feel like if price were to open too significantly higher above that key level of 15.8 to 16, and it did so with a gap, then we would have to see a gap down at some point to fill that gap, because we've already gone up too much to have any gap exist at this price level. Yeah, so I'm actually kind of talking myself out of it, and I think this is going to make for a good video clip, because emotionally I don't want to miss out on the move. But then you go back to the technical analysis. If price were to open up, or price were to spike up in overnight trading to try to pump the price, still logically it makes sense that key trend line at 15.8 has to get tested from the upside in order to validate it. So even if price were to open at 1650, I'd expect a crash to 15.8 or 16 to those trend lines to then validate any further move in the upward direction, right? So I've talked myself out of it. I'm only going to go in for, I've got 10,000 shares again in the no touch account, because I still think we may see some upside here after the way today moved. And then I went in for another 5,000 shares just now, right, at about 1564. I'm not going to buy the other 10,000, but I also have that put hedge. The put hedge is worth about 30,000, right? And they're January 2026s. And the chart has not been invalidated. If the chart gets invalidated, I'll probably get out at a $6,000 to $7,000 loss. Not a big deal with how much money I've made on the stock and how much money I'll make on the stock if those puts get invalidated. Yeah, so I'm gonna have between 15,000 and 20,000 shares. I won't go back in on all 25,000. And in all honesty, I think I just talked myself out of going back in. So I think maybe I'll just sit at 15,000 shares. I'm gonna think about it some more, but I wanted to get this video clip out in case anybody really likes to know what I'm doing, because I know market trading hours are gonna be, after hours is gonna close here in like 2.5 2.5 hours. So anyway, good luck to you all. I hope you made some good money today. Hope that simple SOFI flip I did today, where I bought a pre-market and then got out there at literally the high of the day, that was, $6,800 profit on those 15,000 shares, or whatever, or 7,000, something like that, about $7,000 profit. So that's not bad. That's a decent little trade there for not really having to do anything. But again, I don't want to miss the move, but I also don't want to make a bad bet here. I do think price would have to test from the upside if it were to get pumped overnight. And if it didn't test from the upside, well, that would be kind of my cue that price is then going to have to retrace at some point to fill that gap, because we're so overvalued. I don't think a gap can exist at this price level and be sustained. So, I mean, if we pumped all the way to 20, I actually think we'd see a retracement to 15 to retest that level, right? So that, I'm going to keep that in mind, right? Good luck to y'all.